What is up everyone, I'm Atron the Gamer, and in this video I'm going to be going over an Act 4 Magic Find guide that I created myself. And the main reason for doing this is, if you haven't seen it already, in the patch notes for patch 1.0.3 for Diablo 3, we're going to see the implementation of items that have the item level 61 and 62 will be capable of dropping in Acts 3 and 4 of the Hell difficulty. So if you haven't seen it already, I have an MF guide for Act 3 of Hell. You can check that out in the annotations or the description of this video. And I also have a video where I review the patch notes that will be coming out for patch 1.0.3, and you can check that video out in the annotations or the description as well. But let's move into this right here, and we're going to select the proper quest. So let's select Primeval and the begin quest portion, and once you've done that, go ahead and select the quest and start your game. Once inside the game, you're going to want to go to the waypoint and go to Gardens of Hope First Tier. And now that we're inside Gardens of Hope First Tier, there is a possible shrine that can spawn to the southeast. You can pick that up if you'd like. Hopefully you get one. But from here, we're just going to head northeast, and we're going to clear out some of these vases and look for armor racks as well as chests that could possibly spawn up here. Don't forget about the imprisoned angels, and we're going to want to do the same thing on the other side, except that's going to be in the southwest corner. So go ahead and head down there once you're done up top. At this point, we're going to be looking to stack Nephilim Valors, so you're going to want to encounter champs and rares as soon as you can. And they may be right outside, they may not be. I happen to get them in this specific game relatively quickly here. So basically just want to take them down and just begin the stack. From this point, you're going to want to continue traveling east, and there are going to be vases along the way that you can break out, so you can go ahead and grab those if you'd like. But the main thing at this point is still finding those rares and champions, and you just want to take them out as soon as you see them. Again, stack the Nephilim Valor, as it's going to be huge. You can encounter some chests, so definitely grab these along the way. There's usually a Well of Blessings in the location that I am at right now, and if you click on it, you will acquire a random shrine buff. There are also plenty of weapon racks to be acquired along this route. You can also find treasure goblins while going through this route as well, so keep an eye out for them. I would personally recommend breaking out all of these Anguirus archives as well as the Vile Legions. You should be able to find anywhere from 2 to 3 sets of champs and or rares in the first tier of Gardens of Hope, but we're moving on from there now, and you can go through the portal or you can take the waypoint, but basically just want to move on to Gardens of Hope Tier 2. And there's a second spawn point you can get, as this is a different layout for the Gardens of Hope second tier. And if you get this layout here, you're going to want to head west instead of east, and go ahead and look for vases and or Vile Legions around you once you spawn through to the second tier. And always keep that eye out for those treasure goblins. We're still looking for champs and rares, but along the way, if you happen to see one of these dungeons, they are in the southernmost points of the Gardens of Hope second tier, and in this specific one is labeled as the Blessed Chancel, and you can go inside, and there should be some vases to break as well as a possible chest. But you're just going to want to head northeast, and there should be a staircase, and you can go ahead and open a chest that resides at the bottom. Once you open this chest, a bunch of monsters are going to spawn, and when you come back up the stairs, a rare will spawn, so you can get an extra stack for your Nephilim Valor buff by means of the Blessed Chancel. The Blessed Chancel may not always be in your game, but if it is, I would definitely hit it up. If it isn't, you're going to want to keep heading east or west depending on which layout you spawn for your specific game. And we're going to continue the hunt and look for rares and champs, and you may come across this guy, which is a unique that you can kill. May drop decent stuff, maybe not, depends on how lucky you get. You have a chance to spawn a Well of Blessing, and you also have a chance to find the Radiant Chapel, which is a dungeon that may or may not be open in your game. If it is, I would definitely hit it up and go inside, and once you do, you can break out the bases around here. What you really want to do is head northwest, as there are these 3 angels that are in the ground, and there's a chest behind them, as well as a weapon rack to the northeast and one to the southwest, and should be some vases there as well. But once you wait for these angels to play through their little cinematic, a unique should spawn, and you should be able to kill them for some decent loot. The chest in the back here actually had the chance to be exquisite, although in this game it is just a regular chest. But you may not have gotten the Radiant Chapel in your game, and if you didn't, you just want to keep heading east or west depending on what the layout is of your game, and you still break out bases as well as open chests, and there are also weapon racks to still be acquired. We don't want to lose our Nephilim Valor buffs or stacks, so we want to keep killing rares and or champs as we encounter them. So we can just continue to do this, and at this point you should have anywhere from 1 to 4 stacks. At this point you can still check to see if there are any other dungeons that are open, and this one happens to be open in this game as well, which is the Sacrament of Virtue. So go ahead and go inside, and once you do go inside, there are some bases to break. as well as a chest for you to open that is on the other side of this healing well, which could be a fortune shrine. And you're just going to want to head northeast, and when you do, you should encounter some mobs, and you're going to want to circle around this pit that's in the middle here, and there should be a chest that has a chance to be exquisite chest, but is just a regular chest in this game here. You can also come across the Holy Sanctum, which is another dungeon in the Gardens of Hope 2nd tier, and as you can see, this is the 4th dungeon that I've opened up in this specific game. Once you get it, go ahead and go inside, as there are some bases you can break out right around the entrance, but what you really want to do is head northwest, as there is a puzzle for you to solve, and the way to solve it is to approach the void of where the platforms are not, and have them spawn accordingly so that you can formulate yourself a bridge, which will allow you to cross to the opposite corner of where you entered this room in. And once you make it to that opposite corner, your reward is a chest, which has a chance to be an exquisite chest. In this game, it's just a regular chest. Whenever you are around portals, regardless of what level you are on, definitely check around them, as there are vases to be broken, vile legions to be broken, and weapon racks to be acquired. And we're moving on to the next portion of this run, which is going to the Crystal Colonnade. Take the portal, take the waypoint, doesn't really matter. Just go ahead and head north into the gateway to the Silver Spire, and go ahead and skip the cinematic by pressing escape. And just go ahead and head north, and you're going to run into Leah here. And once you run into Leah, you can talk to her, and she will spawn an aspect which you're going to want to kill, which hopefully at this point you already have 5 stacks in Nephilim Valor. You may or may not, which is okay, but hopefully you have it at this point. Once you kill the aspect, keep heading north, and you should come across the entrance to the Silver Spire level 1, and just go ahead and go through that. And once you go through, there should be another NPC here. It might be Magda, it might be somebody else, but go ahead and talk to this ghost, and you should spawn another aspect, which should yield some more loot. Now that we've killed that second aspect, we're going to start looking for the Great Span, and just go ahead and start looking for that. Hopefully at this point you have your 5 stacks Nephilim Valor. Hopefully you had it before you killed those 2 uniques that we just went past. But you're going to find some chests along the way here, as well as be able to break out some vile legions. Also keep an eye out for tortured angels as well as imprisoned angels, as they yield loot as well. So if you didn't have your 5 stacks and you're in level 1 of the Silver Spire, you should be able to find some champs and rares in there, but what we're really looking for is the Great Span, and once you find it, go ahead and go through and break out some of these vile legions, as well as pick up some of the weapon racks, and free some of the imprisoned angels. But once you're done with that, go ahead and head southeast, and you should come across possibly another weapon rack, maybe a shrine, but you're going to want to continue heading southeast, and you should run into the cinematic that will spawn Iswal, and once he spawns, go ahead and take him out, and then pick up his loot, and move on by going northeast and continue through the Great Span. There should be some more bases here along the way, as well as maybe some more weapon racks, and you should come across some more vile legions and an imprisoned angel as well. And once you've gathered all that up, go ahead and go through to the Silver Spire level 2, where you should encounter another ghost, which will spawn another aspect, and go ahead and spawn the aspect and kill him, and then go ahead and collect your loot. And you're going to want to continue to go through the Silver Spire level 2, where you can encounter some more champs and or rares. So if you see those, go ahead and kill them, as they're going to be great for loot, especially after the new patch. Once you've exhausted whatever you like, once you're inside the 2nd level of the Silver Spire, you're really looking for the Pinnacle of Heaven, and once you find that, go ahead and go through, and just head north and press escape to skip this cinematic. And you're just going to want to go ahead and go through to the Crystal Ark, where we are going to be facing Diablo, and he's going to be the last kill that we're going to get in this run. And once you kill Diablo, go ahead and pick up your loot, and hopefully you had 5 stacks Nephilim Valor, as if there was any time to have 5 stacks Nephilim Valor throughout this run, this would have been the time, just because the sheer amount of items that Diablo drops every time he dies. So he's actually relatively worth killing, even though it does take a little while. He drops so much stuff that it's actually worth it. But that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Hope you all had something to gain from watching this, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter at HronTheGamer. If you like this video, please click the like button. Hope to see everyone next time for more Diablo 3. Until that time, I am HronTheGamer. Later, everyone.